Hi everyone, I'm here to address about my past actions. Yes, I did say inappropriate things to kids. Yes, I did say the N-word. Yes, I was homophobic. And I was a to my dog, which I won't happen again. And you guys don't have to forgive me for this, but I am truly sorry. Okay, I'm truly sorry for everything that I've done. I really am sorry.
Cierra Green is an American internet personality who found her audience in one of the internet's most narrow corners, the furry and therian communities. She first caught people's attention by posting videos of herself doing quadrubics, running and jumping on all fours, wearing masks and animal ears, fully committed to the bit. For a while it worked. Millions of views, a growing fan base, a unique corner of the internet that was all hers. But behind the masks and the fursuits was something a lot darker. Because Cierra Green is not just an eccentric girl living out her animal identity online, she is a manipulative adult who repeatedly targeted minors and then blamed her disabilities every single time she got caught. This is the story of how Cierra Green became the furry community's most embarrassing export. Cierra Green's path to internet fame did not start on TikTok. It actually began years earlier on Musical.ly, the short form app that eventually got absorbed into TikTok, where she posted the same kind of content she still makes today. Dancing, lip-syncing, furry persona videos, and skits that made absolutely no sense to anyone watching. When Musical.ly shut down, and its users migrated to TikTok, Cierra followed, building a following that would eventually climb to nearly 300,000 at its peak, which, for context, is a number most creators would genuinely kill for, which makes what she did with that platform all the more difficult to excuse. A lot of those viewers were not there to celebrate her, they were there to laugh at her. But views are views, and Cierra was eating up every second of the attention without seeming to notice or care about the distinction. She would post videos of herself doing furry-themed dances, running around in a dinosaur mask she called her raptor persona, wearing her homemade pink and green cardboard ears, and making content with a distinctly unhinged quality that was hard to describe but impossible to look away from. Her videos often featured poorly timed lip syncs, choreographed dances that seemed to have no particular logic, and editing choices that served no clear purpose but somehow made the whole thing even more watchable, prompting viewers to genuinely question whether what they were seeing was real. She also talked about herself and the things she was dealing with in her personal life. She shared that she was autistic and that she had been born with fetal alcohol syndrome, a permanent condition caused by alcohol exposure in the womb that can affect behavior, social skills, and emotional regulation in significant ways. The fetal alcohol syndrome is a condition that occurs when a developing fetus is exposed to alcohol at any time during pregnancy. Alcohol used during pregnancy can interfere with brain and central nervous system development. This can cause lifelong physical, mental, emotional, and behavioral differences. She also came out as asexual and said she was proud of that identity, which endeared her to some corners of the internet and put her at direct odds with others, as we will get to very shortly. Some people could genuinely relate to parts of her story, and that relatability made them engage with her content more than they might otherwise, even if much of that engagement was ironic. She also had strong musical ambitions, regularly dropping original songs and covers. These range from genuinely catchy in an accidental kind of way to deeply surreal, including what can only be described as a sincere and enthusiastic McDonald's rap that somehow found a small audience. One of her other recurring obsessions was a pair of homemade cardboard ears she had constructed herself using pink and green materials, which she wore as part of her furry persona. They were, to be entirely clear, 2 pieces of painted cardboard. She treated them like they were the Mona Lisa. People had actually reached out to her asking to buy the ears, which she refused every time. Then someone made their own version of the same design, and Cierra responded with a video that would become one of her most widely shared clips.
You might be wondering why I'm pretty pissed off right now. Let me show you. Yeah. When I say my ears aren't for sale, I didn't mean just go and make your own ears. Guys, you're stealing my design. Stop it. Like, what is wrong with you? You cannot steal no one else's ears that they made. You're stealing my idea. And you can't do that. You can't just go around and do that. That's just not right. I made those ears with my own hands. My own 2 hands. And you think it's okay to steal them? No, it is not okay. What is wrong with you? I mean, if you want to make your own ears, use a different color. Not my colors. That's stealing. That's totally stealing. Stealing, you can't do that. What's wrong with you people?
When someone in the comments suggested the ears were made of paper, she responded by tapping on them on camera and saying, "Does that sound like paper to you?" "No, cardboard. Get it right."
Made of paper? Does this sound like paper to you? Does that sound like paper to you? No. Cardboard. Get it right.
The irony that made this clip go viral was that around the same time, a creator came forward, pointing out that Cierra had been using artwork someone else had drawn as her profile picture across multiple fan pages without crediting the artist. She had taken someone else's art, removed their signature, and used it as her own, then complained publicly about someone copying 2 pieces of pink and green cardboard.
Please just take a minute out of your time. This is honestly really important. It's about art theft. So basically, I'm assuming you all know who Cierra is, right? I made this video kind of mocking her, and my videos usually get like 200 views. I did not expect this to blow up the way it did, but it did, and she got real mad at me. So she basically took this drawing I made, cropped my signature out of it, and told all her fan pages to change their profile picture to this. So now there's an army of like 50 accounts with my drawing as their profile picture without me being credited. So I just would like her to apologize to me. So if you don't mind, can you please, for the love of God, tag her in the comments? I really, really, really want to get a reply to this. And yeah, that's all I really want to say. So thanks for taking the time out of your day to listen to this. And yeah, bye.
After the original artist demanded an apology, Cierra's response was to claim she had assumed everyone would know it was not her drawing. Moreover, to her, the caption and the comments already show that she did not steal the art.
I even put in the comments, if you think I'm stealing, look at the caption. But guess what? These people would rather not look at the caption and be stupid about it.
These early controversies built to a community of dedicated hate watchers around her. It was clear she was a hypocrite at that point, and because of that, she now had dedicated people who tracked her every post, cataloged her statements, and created their own accounts to respond to her. Then came the N-word controversy, which happened during a lip-sync to a DMX song. Cierra mouthed a racial slur with what observers described as genuine enthusiasm. This made people assume that perhaps she was a latent racist. Her response was not an apology. Her response was that she was surprised anyone could think she was racist just because she lip-synced the lyrics of a song as it was. She then did the exact same thing 2 more times in subsequent videos, which transformed mild frustration into genuine outrage, and significantly expanded the number of people following her story with hostile intent. The Discord she tried to launch for her fans during this period was overrun within hours by raiders and trolls who flooded it with hostile content. She failed entirely to moderate it, and eventually blamed a friend for setting up the server in the first place, claiming the friend had tricked her into joining a hate cult.
Okay, how do I put this? Okay, so this friend of mine helped me set up a Discord account, and I thought she would help me get my fans to actually start liking me more, but turns out I was scammed. I was used. She let me join a hate cult. All of that was for hate. She wanted me to be in a hate cult. I thought she was a nice person and, try to help me out, but instead she didn't. She pushed it way too far and let me join a hate cult, and that's when all of this happened. And now there was a fake account saying that I said the N-word and everything else, which it wasn't. It wasn't me, it was a fake account. I was set up. It's fake. I was set up. I didn't do it. I would never do nothing like that. I mean, I don't know why she did it, but I don't know. God, I've never been upset like this in my life. Oh my God. But yeah, I was set up. I was. No.
By mid-2021, her main TikTok account was suspended, with no official explanation now and beyond a notice stating it had been banned for multiple community guidelines violations. Given the volume of content she had posted across so many categories of problematic behavior, it was genuinely impossible to identify a single cause. What followed was something that almost no one anticipated. Reports began circulating that Cierra had died. The story spread fast enough that actual websites picked it up and ran articles about it. Tributes flooded in from people who had watched her content. It was so widespread that some TikTok content creators had to conduct investigations into whether or not she was dead.
I'm sure some of you guys have seen this girl come up on your For You page. She's a TikToker by the name Cierra. Recently there's been speculations that she's dead. Multiple websites have reported this, but the report is unconfirmed. This rumor started circulating after all Cierra's social media was deactivated in late May. Now, I'm not quite sure if Cierra's TikTok was banned or if she deleted it herself.
She was, of course, not dead. She eventually confirmed this by returning to social media, which probably came as a relief to some people and a disappointment to others. She resumed posting on backup accounts, using new usernames. During this period without a stable TikTok presence, she focused more on YouTube, where she posted music, shorts, and content that was largely indistinguishable from what she had been doing before. The account had a different name, but the content was exactly the same. She carved out a real presence in the furry and Therian communities during this stretch, positioning herself as a kind of figurehead, an older and more experienced voice that younger, impressionable fans could look up. And that last part, the older, more experienced voice that younger fans looked up to, matters more than anything else in this story, because the moment she had that kind of influence, everything that came next was already possible. Before the more serious allegations came to light, Cierra was already a documented disaster in her online relationships. Her first real-life relationship had been with a man named Jesse, whom she had dated in person starting in 2014. According to Jesse, they had met as freshmen in high school and built a genuine connection.
In high school, then me and her were both freshmen, you know, we just moved. Then at lunch, I remember one time I was sitting by myself, you know, then Cierra decided to sit with me. Then later on in class at hospice, then we started working together in hospice for a little while.
That relationship continued, but did not last long after Cierra, out of nowhere, entered the internet brotherhood era. She replaced Jesse with different boyfriends she called brothers. Her first notable internet brother was a man named Ryan, whom she described as someone she had deep feelings for going back years. When Cierra went on a live stream and made comments about not supporting the LGBTQ community, Ryan, who was bisexual, blocked her and moved on.
So, back in 2016, I have met a guy named Ryan. He was a sweet, kind gentleman. He seemed to like me a lot. Yeah, like really like me. I met him way back before TikTok even exists. Me and him got a good time together. Until one day, something bad really happened that I didn't mean to do. So I was going live streaming, and then a person asked me if I didn't really support LGBTQ people. And then, I said yes. And now everyone was starting to go mad crazy over it. After the live stream, I decided to make a video about why I don't support LGBTQ. So after I got my video done, I tagged Ryan in so he could help me out, not to avoid me. Yeah, he avoided me. He blocked me and everything. Like, really? He was my everything and I really loved him very much. I honestly didn't know he was bisexual.
She then tried to save face by making a video where she was dancing to a song with the lyrics, "It's okay to be gay." She blamed this on her friend, but people were not having any of that. They simply saw it as a way to avoid being accountable. After all, as we would later come to see, one of her predominant characteristics was to avoid taking the blame. Imagine being homophobic and racist and blame your friends. Rather than accepting the end of the friendship, she responded with a series of public summoning videos, literally setting up candles with black and white filters and dramatic music, and posting herself asking Ryan to come back, referring to him as her brother and telling viewers how much she still loved him. She said things like, "Brother Ryan, I need you wherever you are. I hope you see this and know I still love you so much." Then she made a roleplay video in which she imagined the conversation they would have if he came back, playing both sides herself, which might be the loneliest piece of content ever posted on TikTok. This prompted people to tell her to stop harassing the poor guy. One of the comments says, "Stop harassing him. He don't love you. Leave him alone. He is not your brother." These went on for weeks. Ryan never came back, which honestly was the correct decision. When Ryan did not return, Cierra found a replacement almost immediately. Sammy stumbled across one of her live streams where she was visibly upset about losing Ryan and made the mistake of offering to be her new internet brother out of kindness. He had no idea what he had just gotten himself into. What followed was 2 full years of non-stop pinging, tagging, and messaging, which Sammy eventually documented publicly. He described being contacted almost daily, weekly, and monthly for 2 years, and said that every time he tried to set a boundary, she responded with one of 2 deflections. She either said she just wanted to express her love, or she blamed her disability for why she could not stop.
I'll tell you, but it's going to be one heck of a train ride, so here we go. So 2 years ago, I found this person, Cierra, on TikTok on the For You page, and so I joined her live stream. And I noticed she was a little bit sad considering the fact that her old internet brother, Ryan, blocked her because she didn't support LGBTQ, which I was unaware of at the time because I didn't know that was the reason that he blocked her. So then I decided to step in and propose to be her new internet brother. Little did I know that was a mistake, because ever since she accepted me as her internet brother, she has done nothing but ping me non-stop, almost daily to weekly to monthly, for 2 years. So I kindly asked her to stop pinging me so much. And she would always bring up a bunch of excuses like how much she wants to express her love and saying that her disability was the problem even though it wasn't. To basically make a long story short, I want to move on from this, but she still doesn't.
The most high profile of all the Internet brother situations was Gregory, also known as Mitterman the Puppet Man. Gregory was an autistic man in his early 20s who made puppet content with a character named Stan. His sister later described him as operating at roughly a 5-year-old cognitive level. He was gentle and happy, and wanted nothing more than to make puppet videos in peace. Cierra found Gregory's account and became fixated on both him and his puppet simultaneously. She started duetting his videos, commenting on everything he posted, and building a public narrative that the two of them were in a relationship, even though Gregory had made no such agreement. In one of the more memorable moments of this saga, she posted a video announcing that she was in a romantic relationship with Stan the puppet, calling him her secret lover, and warning viewers never to call him stupid.
Of course I love him. He's the cutest puppet in the world. Somebody who loves me. Yes, I love him too. I'm his favorite, and he's my favorite.
She then began posting boyfriend check videos directed at Gregory, making Valentine's Day demands of a man who had never agreed to date her, and releasing a detailed account of how their love story had developed, which basically was that it was the puppet that caught her eyes before she developed any feelings for Gregory.
Story about how I met my boyfriend Gregory. We sort of met back in 2019, maybe, I don't know. And as I was doing my own thing, I got a notification from him that he tagged me in a video that he wanted me to do it with. I didn't see him at first, I saw his puppet Stan. And I thought, hey, he's pretty cute, so I decided to do it to him instead. Then he started tagging me in a couple of more videos, and we started doing it there. That's when I saw his face for the first time, and he's so adorable. He's sweet, kind, and very happy all the time. I was like so nervous around him. I'm not even joking. After we started talking, we got along and decided to become best friends. And let me tell you, I fell in love with him real quick, like really quick. I was so shy to tell him. After I broke up with my ex, I decided to tell him a few days after. I was like real nervous to tell him. I'm running out of time, but if you'd like to see what happens, like for part 2.
But Gregory soon got tired of her constant need for attention.
Give me some attention!
And so they started having some issues.
What's up with you?
You've been home for an hour and a half. Not even once. Not one time have you tried to cuddle me, and it's pissing me the fuck off. I want my cuddles.
At this point, Gregory was tired of the whole relationship, as the whole perverted relationship did not work for him anymore. So he made a video telling her to move on.
I know you don't want me to leave, but it's time to move on.
Cierra did not seem to understand this, as she instead even craved more attention. Gregory then tried to gently address the situation by commenting on one of her videos, asking if they could just be friends. She responded by telling him no, and immediately asking him for more attention instead.
Okay, babe, I have a question for you. Since you've been doing all these TikTok videos, can you please give me attention, please?
She also admitted in a video that she was jealous of his fan base, saying directly, "They give you all the attention. They always comment on your videos, and what do I get? Nothing. None of my fans say anything nice to me, or anything. That's why I'm jealous." The fallout was that her audience, made up largely of hate watchers at this point, began flooding Gregory's social media with hundreds of hateful comments. They went from his TikTok to his Facebook, and Gregory, who had no experience with this kind of online attention and no particular resilience to it, was left in tears. Gregory's twin sister, Andrea, made a video that day demanding that the trolls leave her brother alone and explaining that his brain functioned at approximately a 5-year-old level.
This is gonna get pretty graphic because I am so sick and tired of it. It started on TikTok and now it's going on Facebook. I just came home from running a few errands and my brother comes down the steps. I'm shaking right now. And he's like, "Do you remember the photo I posted on Facebook that I made of the Count from Sesame Street?" Now, mind you, we're twins, we're 22, but his brain, just to get people to understand if you're but his brain is still at a 5-year-old level. So he still watches Sesame Street, he still watches Barney, he still watches kiddie shows. It's okay. It's okay. So he comes down and shows me a picture and he told me he's getting 309 comments to be exact, all on the picture. I don't know who the these people are, but if you're gonna hate on someone, hate on me!
Cierra's response to all of this was a silent video with on-screen text saying she had always loved Gregory, that she had been a true friend to him, that she would keep him in her heart forever, and that people could hate her all they wanted. She said almost nothing about the actual harm her obsession had caused him or his family. He may not be my brother, but I love him anyway. I was there for him. I did everything for him because I care. Since it seemed like whole real people relationship thing was not working for her, Cierra tried out having a relationship with fictional characters or just people that she liked but had no idea who she was. This was the period she became deeply invested in the fictional character Robbie Rotten from the children's show Lazy Town, a villain played by the late Stefan Karl Stephenson. Her fixation on Robbie went well beyond typical fan behavior. She created a 3-part series called Broken Friendship, where she and Robbie were best friends. He betrayed her, she fell into a coma, he sat at her bedside, and she eventually died and became an angel watching over him forever. She also began cosplaying as Stephanie, the child protagonist of the same show, and positioned herself as Stephanie's roommate in the universe she was building. This would later help people make sense of one of her most controversial episodes involving minors. Around this period, she also made use of her video editing skills to begin a relationship with her favorite Jacksepticeye.
It just means that they don't make me laugh like Jack does. Now Sean, he's a good-looking guy, talks Irish, he is Irish actually, a good sense of humor, really hype energy, and also a kind, loving heart. Yes, I know Mark and Ethan and Peter Pie have kind, loving hearts too, but still, no one is better than this guy right here.
She would then go ahead to make many videos of them together on YouTube, ranging from singing together or just vibing to a song.
Let's have some fun! This beat is sick! I want to take a ride on your big daddy!
Every falling out was loud, public, and messy. TikTok live streams became battlegrounds. Accusations of betrayal flew in every direction. The drama didn't just follow Cierra, she manufactured it. And her audience, much of it young and impressionable, watched every episode play out in real time. OMG, isn't this the girl who made her stepbrother date her in like 2021, one of them says. It even got to a point people started to think maybe she had once had a thing with her brother. Some guy said to me that this girl forced her brother to date her. Is this true? The brother cycle and her fictional relationships were the part of her story that made people laugh. But what was being built underneath it was something nobody would be laughing about. And this is where the story stops being funny. Over the years, multiple screenshots and Discord logs surfaced suggesting that Cierra had engaged in inappropriate, suggestive conversations with minors, and the details that eventually emerged were far worse than anyone who had been following the brother cycle drama had expected.
I love little girls, they make me feel so good.
The first public hint that something darker was happening came in a song Cierra uploaded to YouTube titled, "I'm Not a Pedo, I'm Missing My Boyfriend." The song was ostensibly about missing Gregory after their falling out, but it contained a line that no one had asked for and no one could forget. That she had just been being nice to a 15-year-old, and that was why people were calling her something she was not.
I'm missing my boyfriend, he's always something, but he broke up with me ever since my friends told I'm a P. I'm missing my boyfriend, he's always something, but my friends told him to stay away from me. Even though I don't look like a P, that means
The fuller picture did not emerge until late 2024, when the account manager running her TikTok posted a message that locked Cierra out and explained why. The post stated that several people had come forward with reliable proof that Cierra had been interacting with minors inappropriately despite having an 18+ account, and that while the investigation was still ongoing, the inappropriate nature of the interactions was already confirmed. Just wanted to come on here and let you know that Cierra has been locked out of the account and will no longer have access to the TikTok due to recent allegations. While we are still investigating these messages, it's 100% confirmed that she has interacted with minors in an inappropriate manner. All investigations regarding this situation will be handled privately. Around this period, many videos surfaced online of Cierra interacting with minors. There's a 3-minute video released on TikTok where Cierra seemed to be convincing minors that it was okay to cancel someone. And even when they told her they weren't in support, she doubled down.
rumors, like everywhere, ever since 2020, so.
What kind of rumors?
I don't want to go down that path, but. Well.
The fact that she was keeping malice with teenagers seemed to shock the people on the call with her. They even had to double check if the subject of her anger wasn't teenagers.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean you made a few mistakes, though?
They're gonna regret it.
What?
What do you mean?
They're gonna regret it. ever doing that.
What are you gonna do to them?
Nothing. I'm just saying they're gonna regret it. They're gonna come crawling right back to me. I mean, yeah, they're saying that I need to grow up. They're the one that need to grow up.
Aren't they like teenagers though?
Yeah, and aren't you 27? So you're literally a grown-up. Like, how can you grow up more?
Then she said she preferred to have younger friends, and basically only had one adult friend.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm already grown. And they're over here, they're also telling me, oh, you shouldn't be hanging out with teenagers anyway. Like, I have one adult friend on Discord, and that's, I get it. I need more adult friends, but I can't trust everybody.
Believe me. You'd think she was speaking with grown-up, or even speaking about grown-ups, but she wasn't. But that wasn't as mind-blowing as what followed next after she said she couldn't trust anybody. She was then asked if she preferred a demographic younger than teenagers.
Yeah.
Oh, so do you like children more than adults for friends? Like, do you think you get along better with children more than adults? Like teenagers?
Honestly, I thought teenagers would be more cooler, and honestly, I don't know, but honestly, I don't know what got me into, becoming friends with teens, because of, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the point is, they shouldn't be treating me like that.
Then in June 2025, a YouTube channel run by someone identifying as Luca posted a video titled Cierra the Furry, The Truth, and the full picture came into focus. The video featured testimony from two siblings, Luca and his sister Elizabeth, who were both minors when Cierra first made contact with them. They were 16 at the time of filming. They described how Cierra had been finding young people on platforms like Omegle and funneling them into her Discord server, which was populated almost entirely by minors. She would position herself as a mother figure in that server, telling children she could be their mom and creating a dynamic where they owed her loyalty and compliance in exchange for her attention and care. The mother's framing made the manipulation harder to identify for the children involved, because it felt like protection rather than exploitation. She would typically log into Omegle to get minors whom she would then encourage to join her Discord. Elizabeth described how the mom role was used to create a situation where she had to do whatever Cierra wanted or be considered a bad daughter. Some of their Discord chats go like this. Remember what? I was your mom. Mothers can be bad people. I helped took care of you. That was roleplay. You have done nothing for me, but use me for venting, Cierra. You don't even try to change or help the people around you. No, I haven't. Luca equally described Cierra's behavior towards him shifted from the maternal framing into something explicitly romantic, asking him to roleplay as her fictional interest Robbie Rotten and beginning to refer to him as her boyfriend to other people.
Everyone, my name is Luca and I'm a victim of Cierra.
Oh, I'm Elizabeth. I am another victim of Cierra's. We've both known her since we were 13 and she has done nothing but use us for her own personal needs.
She would also ask Luca to roleplay with him, telling him he looks kind of like Robbie already and wouldn't mind dating you. When her boyfriend breaks up with her, well, I mean, you're kind of like Robbie already, so I wouldn't mind dating you. Maybe when my BF and me break up, you're kinda cute for a kid anyway. Their conversation would become overly with Luca already giving his heart to someone who was almost twice his age. Even Cierra all but revealed that she was in a relationship with him. It's about this guy I dated, turns out he is 16, but I'm not like that, so I wanted to dump him without hurting him, and I told him we should wait till he's old enough. It also wasn't surprising that they were exchanging affectionate messages at this point. She had managed to make him see her what she wanted. The documentation also confirmed that Cierra had entered into what she described as a romantic relationship with a 15 or 16-year-old, and that when confronted about it, she said she'd broken up with him after 5 days, and that her friend had told her she could date him when he turned 17. A 26-year-old waiting for 16-year-old to turn 18 is gross. I'm 22 and I'd never do that. My friend said I can date him when he's 17. Her behavior in the Discord also extended to exposing minors to deeply inappropriate conversations about violence, discussing the murders of real children in graphic terms within a server full of minors, and then calling the children in the server hard-hearted when they expressed discomfort with the content she was sharing. Nicholas, her then boyfriend, was also documented in the same server as taking on a paternal role, while making possessive and inappropriate comments toward the minors. Then because they had been so deep into the father, mother, sons, and daughters roleplay, Lizzie felt it was right to come out to them telling as a lesbian. But Nicholas' response was shocking, suggesting he could do something inappropriate just to prove she was not gay. He said, "Lizzie, you're not lesbian. I can change you." All of these pieces of evidence were not something anyone could overlook. The furry and Therian communities that had already been growing uncomfortable with her behavior blacklisted her entirely after this video. The community she'd spent years trying to be accepted by wanted nothing to do with her, and said so loudly. No criminal charges were confirmed confirmed at the time of this script, but Luca's video stated that the victims had been in contact with law enforcement. But a problem still stands. Cierra seemed to blame anyone and anything but herself. The problem with Cierra Green was not just what she did, it was what she did every single time she was caught. She would immediately transform into a victim and redirect attention toward everything except her own behavior. It did not matter whether the confrontation was about grooming allegations, homophobic comments, racist lip syncings, obsessive stalking of internet brothers, or repeated platform bans. Her first move was always identical: deflect, minimize, perform grief, and wait for the attention to move on. Cierra has publicly shared that she was diagnosed with autism and fetal alcohol syndrome, and while those are real conditions that deserve genuine compassion, she weaponized them systematically. Every controversy became bullying a disabled person. Every ban became evidence of persecution. Every piece of compiled evidence became the work of trolls who did not understand her. When the allegations of being inappropriate with minors were levied against her, she went on TikTok to make a video on what she had done to a girl with the caption, "This is what you want to hear, right?"
I love little girls, they make me feel so good.
When Sammy came forward to document 2 years of Cierra being too excessive to the point of harassment, she explained that her disability made it hard for her to stop. Sammy addressed this directly in his video, saying that she had always used her disability as an excuse, but that it was not actually the problem.
So I kindly asked her to stop pinging me so much. And she would always bring up a bunch of excuses, like how much she wants to express her love and saying that her disability was the problem even though it wasn't. To basically make a long story short, I want to move on from this, but she still doesn't.
This is why some people have held strong positions on her victimhood, just like how this person says autism is not an excuse to be a bad person. Say it with me, guys. Autism's not an excuse. Also, when Gregory's sister made her video defending her brother, Cierra responded with a performance of grief, saying she loved Gregory, she had been a true friend, and she would keep him in her heart forever. She said almost nothing about the harm her obsessive behavior had caused him. Also, remember when a creator posted a video pointing out that she had used their artwork without credit after screaming publicly about someone copying her cardboard ears? She claimed she assumed everyone would know the art was not hers, which is a difficult argument to sustain when you had removed the original artist's signature before posting it.
I even put in the comments, if you think I'm stealing, look at the caption. But guess what? If people would rather not look at the caption and be stupid about it.
But when the hate comments became overwhelming and the grooming allegations became impossible to dodge, she released a video where she said she had done inappropriate things to children, said the N-word, been homophobic, and abused her dog. She said she was truly sorry. It was framed as a genuine moment of reckoning.
Hi everyone, I'm here to address about my past actions. Yes, I did say inappropriate things to kids. Yes, I did say the N-word. Yes, I was homophobic. And I was to my dog, which I won't happen again. And you guys don't have to forgive me for this, but I am truly sorry. Okay, I'm truly sorry for everything that I've done. I really am sorry.
The next day, secretly recorded in a Discord call she did not know was being captured, she said, "I mean, I understand. I made a few mistakes. I understand that, but like, come on, it's not that big of a deal."
I mean, I understand. I mean, I made a few mistakes. I understand that, but like, come on, it's not that big of a deal.
The day after the public apology, she also posted a new video where she sang lyrics from a well-known song that, given the timing, could not have landed worse, and captioned it, "Is this what you wanted to hear?" with laughing emojis, making it as clear as possible that the apology had been performance and nothing more. What made this pattern especially damaging was the community watching it play out. Many of her followers were young, embedded in fandom and role-play cultures with their own complex social dynamics, watching an adult model the behavior of someone who could do whatever she wanted and face no lasting consequences. The platform she used also failed consistently. TikTok would ban her account, sometimes citing multiple violations, and she would simply create a new one. The new account would gain followers. It would eventually get banned again. The cycle repeated so many times that her most dedicated followers had to check her comment sections regularly just to find the current username. At one point, she used an AI-generated voice claiming to be her sister to try to manage one of her accounts in a way that would not be flagged.
Hi everyone, this is Cierra's sister speaking. I helped Cierra run the account and whatnot, but I just wanted to pop in and say a quick thank you to the recent support she's been getting.
Nobody was fooled by this gimmick. Cierra Green's current internet presence looks exactly like what you would expect from someone who has spent years learning that consequences are temporary and attention is forever. She continues to create new accounts regularly, cycling through backups and alts after her primary accounts get banned for violations of child safety and civility guidelines. The bans keep coming. The accounts keep appearing. Her delusional relationship with Robbie still continues, with Robbie having to defend himself against allegations that he cheated on Cierra. Someone who recently worked with her also claimed that she told him she was pregnant. He fueled the delusions and says he suspected the pregnancy was Robbie's.
Okay, so I have sort of a confession to make. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. I used to be a moderator for a lolcast TikTok account. Her name is Cierra. She is trending again on TikTok. I'm gonna be completely honest, I had no idea about all of her allegations and stuff. I was simply just talking to her, and then she's like, do you want to be a mod? And I was like, yeah, that's okay. And eventually, she started going all crazy and stuff. And she started saying that she was pregnant with Robbie Rotten's baby. If anyone doesn't know, Robbie Rotten is her Yumi ship. She was the OG Yumi shipper. And I remember her telling me the story on how she found out she was pregnant and stuff, and I thought it was really weird. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of say that because I got nobody to talk to about this. But I can pull up a message while I'm editing this. But yeah, I just needed to tell somebody. Gizmo out.
After the Luca video dropped in June 2025 and began circulating widely, Cierra went quiet on most platforms, which was unusual for someone who had spent nearly a decade posting daily, regardless of what was happening around her, and even saying everyone else was a hater. The accounts that popped up in her name after the Luca video were met with open and immediate hostility. In one live stream she attempted after returning, a viewer typed directly into the chat calling her out for what she had done to minors and telling her to stop talking. A parody account was set up impersonating Robbie Rotten, specifically to mock her in light of the allegations against her. The fact that people were setting up parody accounts of a children's TV villain to go after a nearly 30-year-old woman says a lot about where her reputation had landed by this point. She also lost her mother during this period, which she announced in a video that was notably more subdued and sincere than most of her content, describing her mother as someone she was proud of for living a good long life.
Hi guys, Cierra here. I'm gonna give you an update of why I haven't posted on YouTube for a long time. See, the reason is, a few days back, my mom died of pneumonia. Not my real mom, but the one that took care of me. She died of pneumonia. She chose to she chose to be dead.
Following that loss, she announced she had moved out of her previous home and into a temporary apartment, posting a house tour that showed most of her possessions in trash bags and her collection of merchandise from her favorite shows still prominently displayed. But the damage had already been done. The broader furry community wants nothing to do with her. The Therian niche she still occasionally tries to occupy is smaller and more isolated than ever. Her current audience is primarily people watching and waiting for the next meltdown, which is a far less forgiving crowd than the ironic fans who once made up her following. What is clear is that Cierra Green spent years building a persona designed to make people underestimate her. The cardboard ears and the dinosaur mask and the earnest obsession with Robbie Rotten all added up to a picture of someone who is too chaotic and too naive to be genuinely threatening. That was always the most dangerous thing about her. She would regularly hold her position as an adult over young people and use this to take advantage of them. Cierra Green is not a misunderstood eccentric. She is not a disabled woman being bullied by the internet. She is an adult who deliberately cultivated the influence over minors, used chaos and manipulation to maintain control over the people around her, and spent years hiding behind her diagnoses whenever she was held accountable. The online communities she spent years trying to be a part of have moved on. The people she targeted have not had that option. And somewhere out there, Cierra Green is almost certainly building another account. Cierra Green is not a misunderstood eccentric. She is not a disabled woman being bullied by the internet. She is an adult who deliberately cultivated influence over minors, used chaos and manipulation to maintain control over the people around her, and spent years hiding behind her diagnoses whenever she was held accountable.